Hello, hello. Welcome. I need to send out pings, which I should have done. Should have done before, or just now. But let me send out a ping. Copy link. Paste link. At everyone. Stream starting now. We be setting equal some lines that escape the grid to become X-sum clues. Interesting. Alrighty then. Actually, that's not the line. Right, that line, right. I forgot about that. Welcome. Naverio, what are you doing? You're up still? What time is it your time? Isn't it like really late? How is the volume, by the way? Because I know that I did a little bit of I was playing with the gain. You're definitely sleeping right now. Okay. Well, that's funny that you mentioned sleeping because volume is good. Okay. I was actually watching back the setting discussion stream just to sort of see how it was and see how all the tech was, because I don't get to watch my own stream very often, or at least I haven't watched my stream very often so far. And I noticed that you were a lot louder than me, and Zeta was a lot quieter than me. So when you and Zeta and Joby was why I almost said wider. I doubt Joby is wider than me. Joby was also almost. Yeah, I know, right? Maybe it was using the wrong microphone. Discord tends to do that all the time. Just change the audio settings, or maybe my volume was at a weird level because of Niverio and Jovial being a little bit louder. I turned you up in the Discord volume settings after when we were all having our group discussion, but for the first like 10 minutes, it's like I can't hear Zeta Math at all. Anyways, so what we have up on the docket today is some setting. So this grid is nothing what we'll end up with, but this is more what we'll end up with, I think, in terms of the starting break-in logic that I want to put into this puzzle. And I would want to do the whole from scratch on stream, but I was just playing around with this, not last night. Was it last night? It might have been 2 nights ago. No, I think it was last night. I was playing around with this, and it was really interesting. And I said, "Oh, I want to just hello to Totally Normal Cat. We're setting. I'm just sort of introing right now. So if it doesn't make sense, it's because I've started before, but not a lot of people are here, so I'll sort of save my. I missed 2 minutes, and we already. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no. We already have 3 lines because I sort of started early. We actually have more than 3 lines in the puzzle that I think I want. I think I want to put this break-in, but I'm not 100% sure I want to put the break-in in. So I'm gonna like look at the break-in a little bit while we're on stream here, but it's actually really funny. So I was looking at this thing, and I was like, okay, maybe we'll do some equal sum lines. I've never done like escape the grid sort of lines. So I was like, oh, well, I solved that one from Nordy the other day. Maybe I'll do some escape the grid lines. What do I like for lines? Well, equal sum lines are fun. What if escaping the grid meant that it's in like a different region? So then the sum outside of the region had to be the same as in the regions. That seems pretty cool. So then I started doing that and I started playing with it and I was like, wait a second, what do these outside clues even mean? What about X sums? Because I don't think I've ever seen an X sum leave the grid sort of puzzle, which is weird because X sum seems like a normal thing that someone would want to do with leaving the grid. Although you don't usually have values that are large enough. Here, let me... Yeah, you usually don't have values that are large enough outside the grid to have an X sum for sort of the line outside the grid sort of thing. But I was like, oh, well, let's just go with it anyway. And I was debating keeping it within the digits 1 to 9 outside the grid, but I don't think I'm going to do that anymore. This was sort of I was just sort of playing with the lines, and I found this neat arrangement in box 1. So let me... There we go. I found this neat arrangement in box 1 where if I put a little line here, then at minimum, these digits are summing to this. And at first I was sort of playing with it like as if it could be any value greater than 9, of course. But then I was like, oh, well, it's not very interesting if you make it greater than 9. So I was like, well, maybe I'll keep them like digits. So then I was like, okay, this would be 8 and 9 in that case. Okay, so then I have to make these cells add up to... Yeah, digits can repeat outside the grid. I have to make these cells at minimum add up to this digit times 2. And I was thinking about, okay, well, obviously this can't be a 1. It could be a 2 easily. What if it's a 3? Then what is this going to be? And I realized that that these 6 cells are never going to add up to this times 2. That's just never going to work. If you have 3 cells that add up to this digit, there's no way these 3 cells also add up to that digit. I hope that's very clear from just math. But then I realized, okay, so then this has to be a 2. But if this is a 2, there's only one way of making either 8 or 9, and it's with 1, 3, 5, or 1, 3, 4 for 8 or 9. 21 is more than 18? Yes, exactly. 21 is more than 18. That's a good way to put it. And then I was thinking about maybe adding another line. So I was just kind of spitballing, just randomly drawing in lines. I was thinking, okay, what if we do something like this? That's kind of interesting because then whatever digit this is, then these cells, like whatever's out here, has to add up to this digit because this will have to be greater than 2, obviously, because if it is just 2, then this digit is only these 2 digits and not this one. So if it was 3, then this digit would repeat here. So then I was like, oh, it has to be greater than 3. It has to be at least 4. So then these 2 digits would sum to that digit if that was 4. And if it was greater, then of course these digits would add to that digit. So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So I was like, oh, this rule set is really interesting. But then I was getting into trouble with this. Could you have a line? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You can take 2 digits outside of the grid. Yeah, it is incredibly cool. And we're going to get to that in a second. So I was looking at this and I was thinking like, okay, that's really cool. What if we did like 2 of these on either side, something like this? And I was playing with this around like for a while, and I actually decided that maybe digits between 1 and 9 is not a great idea. So then I extended this here so that since this is within the grid and it's a 1 cell, then this is actually going to have to be a digit within 1 to 9, and I can easily force that anytime I want to. So restricting the digit outside the grid to be within 1 and 9 is kind of just like, it's not very interesting because you can just force that all the time anyway. So I just didn't do that. Ended up not doing that. And then I realized, oh, this is kind of cool because this digit is going to be a 6 or 7, right? So then this would place that here. But for some reason, now this is where the story gets a little bit interesting. For some reason, this box 1 setup absolutely plagued my mind. Like, I could not stop thinking about it. And I mean, like, I was like awake at 2 a.m. and my brain was not asleep, but I was basically, like, my body was asleep, but my brain was not asleep. My brain was going through every single possible iteration of this configuration and thinking about, okay, if I move this over here, if I move this over here, and at some point I was thinking about also a line which is 2 cells outside the grid or more. Oh, absolutely, absolutely, totally normal, cat. We're gonna get to this this grid is oh, this is this grid. This grid is what I finished, like this is what I think I want the break-in to be. I am not sure if this is broken, but I think this is what the break-in will be, maybe more than the break-in, but there's definitely more than 1 cell outside the grid. Without 1 cell outside the grid, it's kind of just like arrows, so not that interesting. But when you put more than 1 cell outside the grid, it gets really cool. Like, this break-in is really actually very cool. And the point of this weird story is that that I was thinking about. Well, I was thinking about the exact thing that you were saying, is that I haven't used 2 cells outside the grid yet. So I was thinking about that possibility, and I was thinking, oh, maybe it would be really interesting to have a situation in which 2 cells outside the grid met up with 2 cells in the grid. How would that constrain each other side of it? And I sort of I don't know why, but when I was so I was thinking about where was I going with this? You distracted me talking, or you distracted me, totally normal, cat. Right. So I was thinking about these in my head, and I somehow got on the idea of something that looked like this. Something that, and I think, and I don't know if this is actually true, but my delusional, almost asleep brain thinks that I saw my cat in a sort of moon-shaped position, and my brain was thinking this shape. And I was like, ooh, that could be interesting, because that means that we could force the 8 or 9 into here, into this cell. I was thinking about this cell, but my, obviously, like, my brain was asleep but also awake doing this, and for some reason I had thought that I could like reach like this cell from here. Can you have 3 in row 1, column 1 in that case? In this case, no, you can't. You absolutely cannot. Because if you did have a 3 here, then this digit would be in both some. Oh wait, maybe you could. Maybe you could. Maybe you could. See, this is why I'm saying this is why I'm saying that this is what I think will be the break-in, but maybe we'll find some reason why it's not the break-in, and that most definitely could be a reason why it's not the break-in, is because you probably could have a 3 here. See, the all of this, um, all of these lines were lines that I placed while I was sitting in my bed in a fever dream of sleep, trying to set this puzzle even though I was asleep. So all of these lines, and I'll also note that I woke up at 6 o'clock, 6 a.m. And how common is a fever dream of sleep of and setting Sudoku in your head? It's happened to me twice now. It happened to me when I set pinch yourself, uh, and that is part of the name. Is that I literally set it in a dream, like the break-in just sort of like it just came and it fell into place like sort of in my sleep, which was a surreal experience. And then I put it into grid and it just worked like really well, and I was very happy with it. But we'll come back to this three this three problem because it might be a big problem. But yeah, I was thinking about this sort of pattern with doing that, and then I realized that in my fever dream state, I realized that this cell you couldn't actually get to this cell to put an 8-9 here, and I wasn't actually completely sure why I wanted to put an 8-9 here. I was dreaming of setting a puzzle last night, but it didn't resemble anything I'm working on yet. Interesting. Also, I wanted to mention this because I think maybe other people have this problem where if you're in sort of like this fever dream state where you're not asleep, but you're not awake either, my brain somehow defaults to thinking in numbers. So I will like think like yeah, my like the reality um yeah, the reality starts to warp, and like I almost like think weirdly in numbers, like things that are not numbers. Like, oh, I have filled like five out of nine of the cells in this row of sleep. Like like doesn't make any sense at all. But it's like my head is working in some kind of weird Sudoku state where I'm thinking about puzzles, but there are no puzzles. There are no puzzles going on. It's just regular life, but the puzzles are just yeah, the Tetris effect. That's an interesting. Is that like a known were people playing Tetris in their sleep? Is that a known thing? Is this a phenomena in psychology or something? Anyways, back to the setting. So I was thinking about this, and somehow I had connected this cell to this cell in my head. Yeah, I will search it on Wiki later. So then I realized that, and this was a little bit later that I realized this, but I realized that if we're gonna do something like that, we would need to connect it like that. And if this was the setup where it's like a 2 and a 6 or 7, and then this is like a 1, 3, 4, 5, then this would have to be the same as that cell. So I was thinking about that. You've dreamed about Tetris before. Interesting. Maybe I wonder if some people are more prone to this whole dreaming about like work or what you have been working on, your hobbies or something like that. I wonder if more people, or sorry, certain people are more prone to dreaming about those sorts of things. But anyways, that's a conversation for another day. What was I saying? Right, I was thinking about that because I was thinking about this line or this line, because these line. No, no, no. It's fine. You can continue talking. I was drawing a lot of mazes. I started dreaming about mazes. You know, I did a. You're distracting me again. I did a summer research project on solving mazes with like circuitry, like brain like circuitry, and and it was really fun. And I also dreamed of mazes, and I built like several different maze generators and was using different maze solvers to compare how the simulation the simulation I was getting really like into it. I was very much like we're all in a simulation, like it's a maze, it's all a maze. Like yeah, I was losing my mind, I think. Still losing my mind on a daily basis. But now for Sudoku, uh, and also uh, the same thing that I was doing the mazes on the neuromorphic networks. But anyways, back on track. You need to stop distracting me. Okay, so these we're not even gonna get to the break-in before I have to stop streaming. Um, so this line right here is really interesting. This is the first line I was thinking about with going outside the grid, because I was thinking, oh, what if we put two cells inside the grid, two cells outside the grid? How does that work? Like, because well, I didn't actually think of this at first, but there's one weirdness to this where you can actually do this. Ugh, it's so annoying. But I've now used this, so um, where you can do this. But I wasn't actually thinking about that. I was thinking about if these are just some numbers, then I was thinking that you couldn't do one. Silly me. But I was thinking you couldn't do one. I think what the problem was that in my head, I had done something like that, where where I was doing like there was a one in here. But that wouldn't work anyways, because there would also be a three in there. And the interesting thing that I worked out in my head, which I think is true, is that and Totally Normal Cat is probably going to be like, it's not true, but is that you can't do 3 and 4. 1 second. Okay, I can stream even longer apparently. 3 and 4 will break because of something. Right, these 6 cells already add to 21. Plus this one is, you can do 2 and 4, absolutely. 2 and 4 was very much on my mind, and I thought it was actually forced. Once I realized that if I put a line like this, you know what's really hard? You know what's really hard is when you're dream setting, when you're thinking about Sudoku in a dream or or sort of like a fever dream, is it's really hard to remember what clues you have used. So I spent a long time doing 2, 3 here, and thinking that that was forced for some reason. But then I realized that there would be a 3 in here. So I was like, oh, 2, 4, does that work? And it turns out it does work, I think. Yeah, so these cells would add to 15. This cell could be a 1, and this could be a 7, 9. That would work, or this could be a 2, and this could be an 8, 9. But anyways, I went through like most of these possibilities in my brain. So it's very possible I have missed some. It's almost very likely that I have missed some possibilities, including the one where there's a 3 in this scenario. But yeah, so I was thinking about all of these things, and then eventually I settled on actually something very different than what I was thinking originally. Originally, I was trying to put this digit in either these cells or maybe even this cell. And eventually my brain iterated to a point where it was thinking about the two possible situations in which, well, at least this is what my brain had figured out, is that there were two possible configurations of these two things. I think 2,4 was broken because of something to do with this. Okay, we'll have to figure that out. But so, oh, 1,4. Does 1,4 work? Yikes. Okay, maybe 1,4 works. YouTube is weird. Am I still on stream? It says excellent connection, but also data not coming in. Are we still up? Okay, it looks like we're still up. Okay. Anyways, sorry. Okay, good. So I was thinking about this, and what I realized was that I could sort of I had two possibilities in my head about what this could be in this in the scenario in which this line just comes into here somewhere and has like a curve on it. And I was trying to put 2 in this column so that there couldn't be a 2 in here. And I had two possibilities in my head, and they were 18 and 19. Oh, this is the wrong one. Sorry, this one. This one was what I was thinking about. So this one, right. I had in my head for some reason that this had to be 2, 3. Now we'll come to whether or not this is true or not, but I had that in my head that this had to be 2, 3, and that wherever the 3 was, we'd have to have a 1 here because there would be a 1 in here regardless. Just to put this in, so this would be an 8, 9, this would be a 2, this would be a 6, 7, and this would be an 8, 9, but I hadn't figured out where I wanted this 8, 9 to be. I actually thought I wanted it to be over here so that that would be placed here. That was my initial thought. But, and that is why I was doing the thing with this grid. Here, wait, let me, there we go. With this grid and trying to force the 8, 9 into here so that it would be forced onto this line. And that got a little bit interesting. I got some kind of 4, 5 pair in row 5, but it wasn't that interesting, and I didn't like it because it means that these two cells had to add to 45, which was really hard to do. I'm pretty sure it was broken at that point, and I would need to like change like quite a bit about this line or this line, and that would probably disrupt this 4, 5 pair, and then it would sort of just be pointless anyways. So I decided not to do that. And instead, right, we're on this one. So I will need to change the scene. Instead, I decided that actually I wanted this 8, 9 over here. And why I wanted that 8, 9 over here was because then instead of pushing the 8, 9 here, it pushes both 8 and 9 onto this side. Because, oh wait, does it? It totally doesn't. It totally doesn't do that. Because there could be an 8, 9 here. Oh no. Why did I think it pushes both 8 and 9 onto that side? Okay, well, this is another example of fever dream, and we will probably end up starting from the beginning. So, but this is, okay, let's go fever dream for a second and say that there's an 8, 9 on this side, because this felt really cool. Now, if we assume that this 2, 3 is correct, which I'm very unsure about, then either this is 1, 3, 4, which would make this at minimum a 5, 6, which would mean that this is 18. Or this would be a 1, 3, 5, which would mean that this has to be 4, 6, which would mean this is 17. Now, the idea was that if 8 and 9 were forced on this side, then these couldn't be 8 and 9 because this would have no value. So in fact, this 8, 9 over here, if it was true, which I don't think it is anymore because there's no reason why the other one has to be over here, if it was true, then this would be forced to be a 7, and we would be in the regime where this is a 4, 6, and then this would be a 9. Now that is no longer actually true because it's not, because there's not an 8 over here. But that was my thinking. That was the original idea. Okay, now let's go back here, and that was sort of like step 1 in my brain, which was already wrong. So we'll have to reassess that. But step 2 was realizing that this could be a 1, which would put a 1 here. Now I didn't actually forget that this could happen. I remembered that this could happen, but what I forgot was that if we did, see, what I thought would happen was that there would need to be a 1 down here. That was what my brain told me, and then there couldn't be a 1 on here. And that was for this arrangement as well. I was thinking if there was a 1 here, then there would have to be a 1 on here, which would rule out 1 on this line. And I was so sure of that. I was like, yes, that is so cool. But yes, it absolutely can get quite complex. In fact, my brain has missed several possibilities already. So if this is a 1 and this is a 1, then what we could do is like make this a 7 and then this be like a 2, 6. Which would be fine. Now, 7 doesn't actually work because you couldn't make 2, 6, but well, we could do 1, 1, 7, 2, 6, and then do a 2 and a 5, and that would be fine. Which my brain missed that idea entirely. I thought 1 here forced 1 here, which was completely wrong. So the reality of the situation is that we have the possibility to put a 1 over here, so the 2, 3 is not forced. And I'm not 100% sure the 4, 2 is not possible as well. So we'll have to disprove that as well, or think about what that means. But the 1, I wasn't sure how to deal with it, but I was sure that it could be used. So I was thinking about the possibility of putting this line in, because I had sort of given up on this line's potential. But in fact, maybe it isn't that bad, because we can just... Okay, we'll have to fix that in a second, but I think maybe it's okay. But I was thinking about this line and I thought that it forced a 2 here, which it might still do. I think Totally Normal Cat's right that it doesn't. I think this could be a 3, but I thought that it had to be a 2. So if it has to be a 2, then these would have to be, again, 1, 3, 4 or 1, 3, 5. And they would have to have a 1 and a 3 in them. This would have to be an 8, 9. And I wasn't sure if this would go here or here. I kind of like it better here in terms of like it just going down. I don't know why. I just like it better there. I might change it later. But anyways, the idea that I was thinking about was that I don't... For some reason, my brain had ruled out the possibility of this being 1, 4. Oh, I think I knew what I did. Okay, so what I did was I was thinking about 1, 3. So if I put 1, 3 in, then this is obviously a 1. This 3 will be these 3 cells. And for some reason, I thought that 2 and 4 were like, that would put a 9 here. But that doesn't need to be a 9. Like, you could do 4 there. If we do 4 there, and this is like 2, 3, and that's a 1, this would be 10, so these would add to 11. Is that a problem? I don't think that's a problem. Sorry, 1 second, my cat is on my desk, and he's not allowed to be. This is my cat, by the way. His name is Benny. He is a Russian blue mixed with a British short hair, and he's very cute. He's just barely one year old. It me. All right. Yeah, so I'm not even sure this is forced, actually, which is just great. My brain's really great at thinking of things, you know, and thinking about all the possibilities. I think I had not even considered a 4, to be honest. I think I had only looked at 3 and was like, ooh, 3 is cool. Let's see, maybe is even 5 possible? So if we do 5, these cells would add to 15 at minimum. 15 plus 1 is 16. This could be a 7, 9. Okay, this is real bad. Okay, so this is what I thought was forced, but it's definitely not forced. Let's see. Okay, so if we can prove the following assumptions correct, then this is all forced. Now, what were the assumptions again? Because I think there was quite a few of them. No, we're just going to start from scratch again. Okay, so let's start from scratch. And let's think about that line. I think let's just think about this line very carefully. Maybe we will add, maybe we'll do the same box 1 arrangement. So let's go. I actually kind of want to think about this. So if we did this, is this broken? Because I think I had, oh, sorry. My bad. Okay, I want to think about this because this seems very suspicious. I think this is broken. My brain said this is broken, but I don't know if it is broken. So we still have this is a 2. We still have this is going to be a 6, 7. This is still going to be an 8, 9. And this is 1, 3, 4 or 1, 3, 5. All of that I think is still true. That means that these 2 cells can't be 1 or 3, and there's no way they're 2, 5. I don't think. Okay, so they're probably 2, 4, but we need to actually think about 2, 5. I mean, 1, 5. 1, 5 was 17, wasn't it? So at minimum, so 2, 5 is probably broken, but we still need to think about it. So if we try to keep it minimum, then we'll do 15 in here, obviously, and then this will be 1 and 2, I guess, is the absolute minimum we could do. That's going to be 6, 9, another 9, that's 18. 18 cannot be done in 2 cells inside a box. So I think I did prove this in my head. I remember this now. I did prove that this was 18 if this was 2, 5. I do remember that exactly. I remember thinking 18, 2 cells doesn't work, double 9. Right, okay. So then this has to be 2, 4 if this is the case, which means there's no 4 in here, which means this is not 8, this is going to be a 9, which means this is a 7. Okay, so now this cell can't be 7 or 9, which is kind of interesting. But let's think about what is the actual minimum for 2, 4. If we did 2 and 4 like that, feel free to make suggestions of what you think would be an interesting thing to explore in chat, by the way. If we did 2 and 4, what would this be? So this would be something like 1, 3, 5, I guess, would be the absolute minimum you could do. And then this could be a 1 repeating there. That would be the absolute minimum we could do. Don't let me take the minimum if it's not the maximum that these 2 cells can be, please. So that's going to be that's going to be 7, 11, and 16. 16 is very high. Yes, 16. So when I said yes, 16, I saw Andrew's comment. How late was that? I have it on ultra low latency, but I'm not sure how late it's going to be. Like how latency it is. Latency. Latency already has a Y, and I'm trying to add a Y to it, and I just keep saying latency like an idiot. Okay, so currently we're looking at this scenario in which these are 17, but they can't be 17 because this is 7, 9. Right. So it is, or sorry, 16. I said 17, but I meant 16. So it is, if we did this scenario, then we would know that the 2, 4 results in 17, which means this is a 9 and this is an 8, and that's forced. Okay, so apparently my brain thought this was broken, but it's not. It is actually pretty cool. So this has to be 17, which means that either there is a 6 in here and not a 5, or there is a 2 over here. So if we can get rid of one of those 2 possibilities, then we will be absolutely in business. I'm not sure how to get rid of either of those possibilities, though. Eight in column 1 is placed. Oh, absolutely it is. Yeah, absolutely it is. That's an 8 because there's going to be an 8 over here, an 8 here, so that's an 8. There's definitely a 9 and an 8 over here. There's a 7 over here, so there's a 7 down here. This is just a 7-6 pair, actually. You like that 2 in column 4? Yeah, if we could get a 2 over here, that would be very cute. Possibly for some kind of X-sum going on with these 2 cells. Or an X-sum over here would be even cuter, actually. If we put a 2 in these 2 cells, then we could eliminate 2 from X-sums over here, and we could do some kind of similar shaped pattern over here. We could do like that. So let's explore. I'm actually wondering, because I was thinking about these box 1 arrangements, and I was thinking that you couldn't put 2 on the top of the grid, 2 different ones, because then we would have some scenario where there would be 2 2s in the first row. But since we have this maybe possibility of there being a 3 in this cell, that would actually be very interesting if we put another one on top. So let's think about maybe putting another one on top. I like that. That is kind of cute. Oh, that's not going to work at all because there's an 8 and a 9 in this row. Okay, that does not work at all. What we can do is something like this. We could do something like that. You can sneak it into box 2. Yeah. That's what I'm doing. Yeah, like that. I was trying to think of how to arrange this so that it's not, that it doesn't eliminate the 3 possibility. For some reason, my brain was trying to come from this direction, so then I was very confused. But, so let's see about 3 here. So if I put a 3 up here, then, oh yes, let's check if it can be 4. Let's check if it can be 4 first. That will be the good sanity check, right? So, is this still 8 and 9? Let's just do 6, 7, 8, and 9 just to be sure, because we know it's 3 cells, sum of 3 cells. So if this is a 6, there's no way that works. If it's a 7, there's no way that works. So it's going to be either 8 or 9. Yeah, min 10, max 9, right? So yeah, 4 definitely does not work. Sanity check has been complete. 4 does not work. I was actually just thinking about 3 when I was eliminating those 2. I wasn't even thinking about 4. I think at least. So yeah, so 6 will not work because you'll need a 3 in these 3 cells. 7 is not going to work because then you'll need to make 7 in 3 cells with a 3. That's not going to work. I don't know if 8 works either, because if you make it 8, then these cells have to add to 16 minus this cell. Is that right? Yeah, so then row 7, 3 column 7 is a 1 or 2. I believe that because if we have to do 2 sums that are sort of intersecting at something, then it's going to be a 1 or 2, because if it was a 4, then you'd be doubling the 4 to get to your total. And if you did 8, which would be double 4, plus the minimum, so 1, 2, 3, and 5, you would be at 19. And 19 does not work for double 8 or double 9. You need 2 ways of making the outside clue which have 1 common digit. Well, if it's 8, then the common digit is 1 because both sums will need a 1. So if it's 1, then this is going to be a 4 and this is going to be a 2, 5. That totally works. So it can be 8. If it's 9, it can either be 2 with 4 here or a 1 and a 1, 6 here. Or it could be a 1 with a 5 here and a 2, 6 here. So either way, there's always a 2 in these 3 cells. The 3 sum to a single digit. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, 2 from those digits for sure. This is an 8, 9, I guess we can mark that. This 8, 9 is always going to go in there. That's definitely not a 2, of course. That's not a 3. Okay, so what does this do for us? Does it even do very much? Like, I'm not sure I've liked this so far, so like I don't know if I like how many possibilities there are here. I feel like there can be something a little bit more forced in terms of a shape like this. If I'm spending this many cells on a line, it better be forced, or it better be forced with the stuff we have so far in the grid, or very close to forced. Not this free, at least. Maybe we should think about. So if we put a line, if we put a symmetric line, extend line from row 4, column 5, and oh, this one? Row, oh, row 5. This? No, wait. Is that, no, this. You want this? Oh, 2 cells in box 5. You want the line to okay, yes, sorry. I was very confused. I thought it was this. Like, I thought you wanted a line here, and then I was like, that's only in one box. So then I was thinking, okay, what is like the error in the writing? And yeah, I just got confused. Anyways, I think he wants us to extend it to there. I'm not sure that does very much for us. Does it interact with possible 4 in row 5, column 1? Oh, interesting. Maybe. If that's a 4, then that's a 1 or 2, so this would be a 7 or an 8, so that would have to be, oh no, 6, 7, or 8, sorry. So that would have to be 6 or 7. I'm not sure it does. I don't think it does greatly impact that. I mean, it could impact that if we're looking to do something else with it. Like this being 6 or 7 is sort of interesting. Not quite, yeah. We'll keep that in mind. I'm not sure I love this line in general. Like just the aesthetic of it doesn't vibe with me. Yeah, let's keep that. Let's keep this in mind. Maybe we'll put it as like a red line. That's like a maybe. Let's think about if this. Okay, actually, let's think about instead of the context of this line, I want to think about this in the context of this line. Particularly with maybe thinking about if there was a pencil mark 2 here, then what happens to this line? Because that is of interest to me. And maybe we can use this line somehow. But so I don't want to think about it in context of this, just in general. So we could still put a 1 here, obviously, which is the big downside. Because I think a 1 could even go with a 5, I think we said. 5 is not good. So maybe that's not great. Actually, maybe we look at this box. Because that has a lot of high digits in it. Yeah, I don't want it to be like very like calculation based. I think this, like what we did right here, is very is quite approachable in terms of the calculation. Like 2, 5, you can pretty quickly realize is going to be double 9, and it's like just off the cuff, so it's like interesting. You have at most 3 repeats between box 4 and box 6. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah, let's not think about this. Let's not think about this. Let's maybe back up a little bit, actually. You have 1, 2 in box 5. That limits it. Repeats further. Yeah, okay. See you, Andrew Saukus. Nice to see you pop in. Yeah, I'm not sure about the 1, 2 in box 5. I'm not convinced I love that so far. I think I want to think about this box because this has a lot of high digits in it. I'm wondering if we can maybe... Benny, come on. The cat is back. I think he hears me talking and he's like, I want to join the stream. So I'll keep him on the stream for a little bit. Maybe he'll be entertained. Apparently it's not a very entertaining stream. I think we peaked at like 6 viewers and then it's been downhill from there. I'm not sure. But anyways, I hope it's entertaining for the people who are staying. But I think I want to think about this box a little bit more because what I really want to do is to force some kind of tension between what the cells within the grid can be summing to and what the cells outside the grid can be summing to. That's the sort of tension I want to impose. And in boxes where there's a lot of high digits is a good place to impose that. Actually, wait, maybe this is a good row to impose that in. Because this box is a little bit cluttered right now. So maybe we think about this row. Perhaps something where it forces maybe we should think about for a second just how would we even force the 2 over here? Either we're forcing 1 out of here, which would force the 2 in here, or secondly, we're forcing the 6 out of here. And if we force the 6 out of here, that seems really hard. Like, I'm not sure how we're going to force the 6 out of here, is my main concern with that. So I'm thinking maybe we do something in terms of this box that's not symmetric, uses the fact that there's an 8, 9 in this row to limit the availability of high digits on a line in this row that goes outside of the grid. You have 5 in column 3 down here. Oh yeah, that would also force it, you're right. If you forced 5 onto the sum. Okay, so that's actually an interesting idea. So maybe we do look at this box down here in the corner and we look at something like this. Well, okay, so I have 2 cells outside the grid, right? So what's the minimum that I can make these 2 cells? If I make one of them a 1, and then one of them 2 and 3. That's 6, right? So that's just basically minimum of a 3-cell arrow. Or just 3 digits, because 1 and 2 is the minimum you can put out for the X's. So then that would mean that I'm trying to like force a 5 onto here because 5 is the highest digit in here except for the digits that we can't have. Obviously, this doesn't force a 5 on here. This can be a 4 or 5. This can be, or sorry, this can be a 4 or 5. This can be a 1 or 2. So somehow we need to increase this by 2. If we increase it by 2 or more, if we increase it to 9, can we somehow get it to 9? Oh, you know what's actually really interesting? Oh. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so look at this. If we do this, just that, the 1 or 2 that is in here is putting a bit of pressure on here. If it's really close. It's really close to being interesting. So if this, see, what I want to do is somehow force a 3 here with a 1. No, wait, we don't want a 1 in here. No, so the idea that I was having was so that somehow this interacts with this. Because if this was 3 with a 1 up here, then what would happen was this would be 2, 4, and this would have to be a 9. Oh, this would be minimum 2, 4. No, that's right. Then this would have to be 4, 5 because this can't get any higher. So this would have to be minimum. So this would have to be 4, 5, and then you would get a 5 in here, and then you would need a 2 in here, not a 1. This is way too complicated. But this is the sort of thing that I'm trying to think about, and it's getting a bit complicated, but I want to then 2 works in reverse. How would 2 work in reverse? So with the 3 there, like if I put a 1 here, that's not even enough to say that this has to be a 3. We would need a 2 somewhere pointing at this, which we could easily get with some X sum over here, which is what I was thinking. So if there was like a pointing 2 over here, then we would need a 3 here. It puts 1 in box 5 and forces 5 out of the line. Oh, I know why my cat was I know why my cat was bothering me, because I need to get their food. I will be back in just a minute, and then I will understand your point. Totally normal cat. I will digest it while I'm on break. Okay, I'm back for just a few minutes while they eat their wet food, and then I will get their dry food, because there's a complicated schedule to their feeding process. But yes, we will resume for now. The kitty is good. The other cat is good as well. I haven't introduced you to the other cat, but I will eventually. If you stick around on the stream. It'll happen at any moment, and you'll have to stick around to see. I'm not good at coercing people to stay. But anyways. Hello Ambrose, nice to see you. I think this is the first time you've been in the stream. Nice to see you. Here. Okay. So totally normal cat says that never mind, that line is not as perfect as he thought. I didn't think it was perfect. So we need to figure out how to do this, because I think we can somehow put a line that goes right here. Oh, what about that line? Oh, nice, nice. I think this is the first time I've seen you in the chat, or maybe you were in the chat before, but sorry, my mother is texting me about picking up things for her when we go to Mexico with her, or when we go to Mexico to see her. I don't know if we will have luggage space, but we'll see. Okay, so, well, nice to see you anyway, Ambrose. We need, I think this line is interesting because the reason I think this is interesting is because if we can, so if there's a 1 in here, right? That line is broken. Why is that line broken? Well, we can't do that. That doesn't work. But what I was thinking about was this. That's what I was thinking about. And that's not broken, is it? Oh, yes it is, because then this would be a 1 and there would be a 5 in here, and that's broken, yeah. Okay, that's broken. Ah, this close, this close. Yeah, it's close though, like, it's really close. I wish we could somehow make that line, like, do something else. Oh, wait. No, we can make that line do something else. We can make that line do something else. We can make that line do this. And that would be perfect, because then this can't be a 1, right? And if that can't be a 1, because it does that, if this is a 3, they can't be 1, 2, because that's going to be an issue for these cells, which have to be 1 or 2, right? So then this has to be a 2, doesn't it? Well, if it's... Oh, no, this could be 9, and this could be 2, 4. But either way, doesn't... No, wait. You could do 1 something. Oh, You can do 1 something. Or you could do even 3, 1. I didn't even consider 3, 1 with the other situation. Wait. I didn't consider 3, 1. No, I can't do 3, 1. 3, 1 doesn't work. No. The other way doesn't work with 3, 1. I was thinking 3, 1 something. That's what I was forgetting. So 3, 1 something would be 8. 8 or 9 even. Yeah, it does work with 3 here, which is very annoying. But this is an interesting idea though, because like what about that? That's kind of interesting. Because this can't be 1 for reasons that we've just discussed over and over again. And can it be 3? You could do a line from row... Oh, I honestly didn't even see that. I'm sorry. You could do a line from row 9, column 3, to row 9. Oh, just like inside the grid? Oh, and then outside here. What would that do? That's kind of interesting. Let's think about that for a second. So if we put a line that goes like that, curious why you chose a specific line. Do you work this out already? So then these two, oh, because this has to be low. So if this is a single digit, it is a single digit number. If it's a single digit number, it has to be 4, it has to be 5 or less. And I don't think it can be 4 ever, because if it's 4, it can't be, this can't be a 1 or a 2 or a 3, because 4 doesn't work in 3 cells, and 4 does not work with 2, because that would be double 2, and 1 is a sum of 1. So this would have to be 5 or 1, or no, it can't be 1 because there's 2 cells in here. So it is 5. Is this broken? No, it isn't. No, it isn't. This is actually really interesting. This is very interesting, actually, which puts a 5 in here, which means that this has to be a 2. Ooh, that's really cute. I really like that. How did you find this? This is so cute. That is a very nice line. So this is a 3, isn't it? Because it sees 1, 2, 4, and 5, and then all the high digits. That's a 3. I feel impending doom for some reason. Row 9, yeah. And also this, no, it isn't. Yes, this digit is naked, isn't it? Isn't it? No. There's a 6 and 7 are in here, right? Because 6 can't be in here. So then this is a 6, isn't it? I think that's a 6. Please correct me if I'm wrong. So that makes this 4, 8, 9. Why can't the 2 in box 5 appear in column 5? Oh, because one of these is a 4, and whichever one of these is a 4 is oh, yeah, you're totally right, because there's a 3 down here. One of these is a 4, and the 4 will need to have something out here, right? And that digit is either going to be a 2 or a 1, which you worked out forever ago. And because there's a 5 in here, in this sum, we know that this has to be picking up the slack of the 5. So it has to be a 2. So this is the 3 is down here because it has to be in the 4 sum. And then the 6, 7 is obviously in here. And we can just get rid of the pencil marks. So then this is a 1, 2 pair, and this is a naked single 4. This is a 5, 1. There's definitely a 9 in that, and there's definitely an 8 in here. There's a 9 and an 8 down here, and either a 6 or a 7. So this box looks like the next likely candidate for some kind of line, because it has most of its high digits down here. Very interesting. Okay. So what do we do about that then? Let's get rid of this for now. We'll consider that later, a little bit later, but because I was thinking this might force the 2 into this row, but that's not going to work anymore. Oh, maybe that's interesting now, because this can't be a 1, right? That can't be a 1 because of reasons we've discussed several times. And if it can't be a 1, and it can't be a 2 now, And there's no way it's a 4 because it's a single digit total. So it must be a 3. This is going to break, isn't it? So that's a 3, that's a 4, that's a 2. That's a 2. Now this is going to have to be 3 and 2 digits, which add to... this has to be 6 or 7. So this will have to be... There's definitely a 2 up here. Now, 7 and 3 cells needs the 2, and 6 and 3 cells needs a 2, so that's not going to work. So this is broken. So good thing we didn't want to add that line anyway. I didn't want to do that anyway. So let's consider other things. First, I think I want to consider this box, and maybe even the line that we were talking about before, this line. Because that line is now really constrained. Like, really constrained. I think we are going to need a 1 on here because we can't have a 2, and 3, 4 doesn't work because that's going to mean 21, and these definitely do not add to 21 or more, because it will need 21 in these cells at least, and then another cell here, and even more because it doesn't have a 2. So then one of these is definitely a 1. Now we worked out that 1, 5 could work. What if that line goes into row 6, column 9 instead of row 4, column 9? Then it could be, oh yeah, it could definitely be, it can't be 3, 2, 4, but it could be, and it, oh no, it would be, wait a second. Let's go back for a second because Ancient has a really interesting idea. That's a good point. That's a good point. So let's think about that for a second because that is actually really interesting. So if we go here again, and now we've already pondered whether this could be a 2. It can't be, so it must be a 3. And it can't be, and the 3, remember the 3 in this box goes with the 4. That's very important because the 3 must be in the sum. The 6 or 7 is definitely not in the sum. So that means the 4 goes here, the 2 goes here, the 2 goes here. And this 1, 5 pair is not resolved because this could be either way. It doesn't really matter. These two sum to 17 either way. It doesn't matter if this is a 7 or a 3. It's the same thing. But this now, Agent points out, well, it cannot be a 6 or 7 because there is a 2 up here. It can be an 8 or 9. But he thinks that it can't even be a 9, is actually what I think he's saying. Because this being 3, and there being a 2 in the row, means you can't do 3, 2, 4, and you can't do 3, 1, 5, because that would see a 1, 5 in the row. So then there's no way to add these two to 6. So it can't be 9. It must be 8. And if it must be 8, then it must be a 1, 4 pair because it's the only way left to add to 5. That makes this a 5 and this a 1. That means there's a 1 up here. And a 3. There's an 8 and a 9 in here. And a 6 or 7. So it's a bit like down here. And a 4? Oh, and a 4. You're right. And a 4. So this is a triple. 1, 3, 4. Wow. This rule set is freaking cool. I really like it so far. So there's definitely a 5 down here, which means there's, well, there's obviously a 5 up here. And there's a 6, 7 with the 2, 5. So down here we have the other 6 or 7 and the 9, of course. I tend to over pencil mark when I'm setting. I don't try to do this when I'm solving, but I do this when I'm setting just to record all the information that I have available to me. I hope it's not very upsetting. I understand it is upsetting, like that's just a given, but I hope it's not very upsetting. There's no 3 here because of this. By uniqueness. Row 4. Yes, I got that one. Just a second before you said it also. So there's not like a 5 is placed. This 5 does not see into there. Okay. No worries, no worries. Is that all we can do with the clues we have? Have we used all of our clues as much as we can? I think so. No worries. I'm actually gonna start doing these ones in black so that we don't get confused. Because it is actually confusing me as well. So let's do this one as that's 7. 7. I hate this. I hate when it does that. 7. The line above column 4 or 5 would be interesting. Yeah, maybe, yeah. The 1, 3, 4 pencil marked. Yeah, if we dodge the 2, perhaps it would be interesting. Yeah. I don't know if I want to do another 3 cell though. We'll think about it. But this is going to be 10. I like that these numbers are all relatively low, the x sum totals so far. Okay, so let's think about, so our 2 candidates for adding clues, I think, are this box, which have high digits down here, and we could do a similar trick we were trying to pull off over here, or this box, because we have the 2 pencil mark, which we can sort of, and it's not on the border, because there's a 2 here. There's also a 3 looking at this cell. So this could be an interesting sort of start to an x sum, I think. Let's think about if that's 4. If that's 4, these 3 add up to... Oh, thank you, Benny, for reminding me that you guys need your dry food. I will be right back. I'm just gonna feed my cats their dry food, and like it'll be like 5 minutes, so don't go anywhere. As promised, we are right back. I don't even think that was 5 minutes. Oh, okay. And we were thinking about either adding a clue in this box or maybe in this box. And we were thinking about this cell, I think. The only way it can work is with a single 1. Are you sure? Is that true? If it's 4, then it's going to be really high. Now, note, Agent, that this digit could be greater than 9. So we could make this like 45. Yeah, the next line we add is gonna be that line. No, that won't bypass anything else we did, right? Okay, let's actually think about this. I almost want to come back to this line, I want to say. It would be hilarious, but I don't think it would be good. Okay, so if we did that line, I just want to think about that for 1 second. I think that makes 8 impossible. Yes, it can definitely force high digits in a box somewhere, and that's actually why I'm interested in this box, because if we had multiple digits or multiple clued cells outside the grid that come into this box, then you have to somehow make... Yeah, I think this has to... This is definitely a 3. We've already worked this out a while ago. This has to be a 3. This has to be a 1 or 2. And I'm pretty sure if this is an 8, it breaks. So if this is an 8, we're going to need this to be a 1, obviously. This is the sum to 8, so this is a 4, and that cell is broken, yeah. So then this definitely cannot be an 8. And this has to be a 1 because it has to share, because this digit is shared between the two sums, and 8 always needs a 1. So you can't make this a 2 and then have these sum to 8. This would be another 3. So this is a 9 if we keep this. Also, I don't know if I want this yet. Let's just hold on to that for a second. This has to be a 1 or 2. I don't know if we know which one yet. So I don't know if I like this clue, but if it is a 2, so there's definitely either a 1 or a 4 in here, because if this is a 2, this is a 4. If this is a 1, this is a 5, of course. This is either going to be a 2-6 or a 1-6, so there's always a 6 in there. That's no longer a 9. I'm just playing with this for a second, and then we'll go back to see if I hate this or not. There's definitely a 9 in here now because of this 9, so that's not a 9, and that makes a 6-7 pair in the row, so those are not 6 or 7. That's kind of cute, at least. That also puts an 8 here, which forces this to be an 8 and this to be a 9. That's a 9 now. That's a 7 now. So this is actually kind of cute so far. That's a 7, that's a 6, so there's no 6 in here. There's no 7 down here now. Row 9, column 9 equals 6. Yes, because there's a 7 in here, right? So this is 7, 4, 5, and 9. And that's going to be a 6. So that's not a 6. Seven in box 3 looks down. Yeah, we got that. I was saying before that there's definitely a virtual 1-4 pair here, because either this is 2-4 or it's 1-5. There's a 1 or a 4 in here, so then down here C's a 1-4, so it's going to be 2, 5, 6, and 7. I think that's all the options. This 6 C's over, so that's a 7 and that's a 6. 6 in box 6. Oh, is placed. Yes, we're right. So those are not 6s. Why are you guys like on a Skype call or something? You're saying the exact same things at the exact same time. I don't know why I said Skype call. Who uses Skype anymore? So there's definitely a 6 up here, but I don't care to pencil mark that. There's no 3 here now. Oh, you didn't spell row 6 in column 7. Oh, I see. The same one. So then down here, oh, we have a 1, 2, no we don't. 4 in box 1. Oh, I didn't even see that. Nice one. So that's not a 4. Now, if we could just get a 7 to look at this cell, then we would be really in business. Any 7s in the market for 5-7 pairs? So there's either a 4 or a 5 in here. Hello, Candy. Nice to see you in the stream. I think I saw you once before in the stream, but nice to see you. Yes, it is quite wacky so far. Maybe I should make these 3 in box 9. Oh, ooh, nice spot, Ambrose. The 3 in box 9 is forced to be right here. Oh, yay, it's smooth. I wasn't sure. I'm never sure when I'm setting if it's like gonna be smooth or not. I think I think this is smooth. What if the 9 sum line goes back into box 3? Where? Takes row, goes back into box 2. It is in box 2. Takes row 2, 3. Oh, column 5. Oh, these two. No. Yeah, these two. Then it would have to leave. And I don't know if it can leave. I don't think it can leave. Like, it would have to go into one of these cells, and none of these can be 9. I mean, can I make a sum? No, I don't think I can make a sum down here that's 9. I was thinking maybe like 1, 8, but then it can't get out. Oh, it could branch. No, but then it would be inside here. Well, it could branch down and then up. I don't know, it seems kind of messy. And make it 18? Then it would have to branch, wouldn't it? Doesn't it have to branch then? Like, I see you could do this. Like, I can see that, but is that what you guys are talking about, or is there a better way to do that? Yes, 1, 8. I figured that out now. It would get 7 in column 3. Oh, that would be interesting. Yeah, that would be interesting. Is there a better way to do this? Row 4, column 5. That's where I am. Oh, no, this is where, that's where okay, so you're suggesting that it go here and then into row 5, column 4, there? And then branch up? Oh, you know what it, yeah, it could do that. Yeah, I don't hate that. I don't know. Something about the branch looks so weird to me. I don't know. Is it weird to you guys, or do you? Yeah, okay. It's not weird. I don't know. It just looks weird. It just looks weird. I don't know. Do you think it's aesthetically pleasing? I don't know. I'm 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 not like against it. You don't like the branch test? This just this. Okay. We'll see. We'll trust your instincts, and we'll roll with it for just a second. And if for some reason the branch is okay, then the branch. Oh wait, you're saying forget about the branch is what you're saying. Oh, okay. Just this. Just this. Okay. I have made a region sum line do that before. Yeah, just the region sum line rules. Sorry, I'm very much summarizing the rules, not like very explicitly stating them. I would write that it could repeat, but I didn't write that, and then I made an image of it. Yeah. For some reason, in setting mode, the rules don't appear in this area. I don't know if you can see my mouse at the bottom of the below the rules, but it usually does appear down here. Maybe like here. You can't see my mouse. Okay, well, you saw my mouse for brief flashes. Let's do this. Let's do the puzzle. Let's do the puzzle. So if this goes here and here, there's no way this is 8 or 9. Or sorry, there's no way this is 7 or 9 because that would need 1, that would need 2 or nothing. So that's going to be 8, 1. That's going to be a 4. That's going to be a 3. That's going to be a 7 and a 9. And that's crazy already. Okay. That's quite good. I forget about the branch already. Isn't this, didn't we put this in and then erase it? Isn't this the exact line that we just erased? Am I losing it? Uh, yes, okay. Yeah, okay. We should have just left that there. That would have been good to just accidentally run into that. Oh, this 1 resolves the 4 and the 1 down here. Yeah. I got that now. The 4 is up here now. The 1 is up here now. Three in box 2. Oh, 2, 3 pair. There's a 2, 3 pair. And then you and Ambrose are on the same wavelength again. There's a 2, 3 pair. Does it do anything else? There's no 2 here. I don't know why I didn't notice that before, but there's definitely no 2 here. 8 in this box is in here. It's really suspect. I wonder if we could... not sure. So let's think about this box again, or is more things resolved now? 5, 7 hidden pair in row 3. Yeah, you're... are you right? I mean, this one... Oh, this can't be 1, 2, or 3. Ah, okay, that's what you mean by hidden pair, right? I think that's a naked pair. Yes, okay, naked. You said naked. You should do a real XM value. Make it like 29 or something. Yeah, I wanted to make it like 29. Oh, one thing I wanted to do actually was replace... I don't like the black anymore. It's making me think they're givens for some reason. And I'm like, why are there givens? I didn't add givens. So I'm gonna make them green. Yeah. So let's think about making a total that is big. I think this is a decent candidate for a total that's big. But I don't know where it will escape to. Perhaps we need to think about, oh, this could be an interesting candidate. Like a region sunline here, maybe? I don't want to clutter it too much, though. I kind of want to look at this line. I want to maybe look at this line. No, I don't want to look at that line. I was going to think about this line before we got about this and see what it did. Because I'm wondering like how the solve path is actually looking right now. Maybe we should just solve this from scratch and see what we think. Because I kind of want to look at like where are we looking right now. This is not a 5. That's something. What is this digit? That's either 7 or it's 5, right? That's a 5, 7. That's kind of weird. This is 5, 6, 7. These are 4, 5, 6, 7. That's definitely not a 7. This is kind of nice. I don't know what this is. Like, if we can do something with this, but this matches sort of almost a theme. These 8 cells add to a lot. I'm thinking about maybe putting an exome clue up here that's pretty big. Maybe like a 5, maybe something like that. That would be like 10 plus 10, 20, 4, 6, 7. That's not 20, is it? No, that's only 17. Is that 17? Yeah, 17 plus 3 would be 20. Will it kill you for reading F puzzles link? If you send it to me in DM, I will put it in there if you would like me to. I think I have an idea. If we do that, oh, why is that a 5? Because that's actually a big problem for what I wanted to do. Row 9 or row 2, column 9. Oh, so this is resolved in the solver says that this is resolved. Oh, this solves the puzzle. What? It does kind of seem like it's on the edge. I'm wondering maybe a line down here. Yeah, I see that now. I see this now. Thank you, Ambrose. Maybe because 7 is over here. I kind of want to do more than one digit outside, more than one cell outside the grid. Maybe it solved the puzzle. Ah. Okay, well, maybe we open this in F puzzles just for a second. What am I doing? I'm trying to post that link. Okay, let me just for F puzzles. Okay, so what KMT is saying is that it's unique. The solver says that either one of these gives it a unique. Sorry, this is gonna look weird because I wasn't planning on setting in F puzzles. For some reason, it's not showing the solution count. Not row 2, column 7. Doesn't seem to be unique with that. I mean, oh, maybe if we add that in. Oh, not 7. Sorry. I read that and then I was like, yes, I understand, but then I didn't understand. Sorry. Sorry, KNT. Yeah, okay, so oh, so putting a 5 down here is actually kind of bad. Um, except if it's that 5. Okay, I don't want to look at this anymore. Uh, let's look at let's look back at our Pempa. Um, yeah. The 5 in the first row ruins the idea that I was trying to do. Um, so what about a 6 here? Like, what does 6 do? So if it's a 6 up here, that's going to be, that's, well, we just add 6 to our 20, so it's going to be 26. So 6 is up here, which it can be, and it makes it unique. Yeah, I don't know how the 5 in row 1, column 1 is forced, but, you know, I don't even care to look for it. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. If it's gonna be forced eventually, it will be forced. Like, it's fine. I don't really care. But if we put a, I think it has to do with some kind of like weird, like a bunch of triples and stuff like skyscrapers or something like that. There's probably some kind of empty rectangle thing going on here that will eliminate 5s from stuff. Maybe not. I don't even know. Actually, that's probably exactly what's going on here. There is I know. There's probably most likely an empty rectangle on 5s going on here that is somehow placing 5s down here, which eliminates a 5 over here, which eliminates the only 2 spots for 5 uh, up here or something. I don't even know. Because there's 3 spots for 5 up here. There's 4 spots for 5. I don't even know how that would work. How that would eliminate. Well, it must have to do with like, okay, I don't want to talk about this. Yes, digits can repeat outside the grid. Uh, I will clarify that in the final rules. I just wrote those up real quick, and it's an image, so I don't really want to change it. Oh, whatever, I'll change it if you guys want. Uh, uh, is another region for the purpose of region some lines, but digits can repeat. Oh, just give me 1 second. File, save as, documents, go in here, and rules, save. Yes, please save over that. Okay, and then we are going to go back to the puzzle we were working on. Is it going to update? Yes, it did update. Okay. Just for you now, just for you, I have updated the rules to be more clear. Uh, let's think about that line though. So if we added that line, which was 26, then it would be 5, 7, and 4. 5, 7, and 4 add to 16, not 17. So if we added the 8 in there, it would be 16 plus 8, which would be 24. So we need another 4. Oof, this is getting hard. So I think the only way to do that would be to do something like that. And I don't even know if that's forced. Can't you just extend the 8 cell 2 lines to force the 3 and the 5? Probably. That would be much easier. Yeah, that would do something. Huh, okay. That's a good idea. So let's try that. If this doesn't work and it blows up horribly, we'll try this other plan that probably would blow up even more horribly. And if it was just me setting, I'd probably try this. Yeah, let's try this. Let's try this reasonable plan. In before it allows bypassing by a ton of earlier logic. If it's fun, who cares, really? I don't know if it is boring, but kind of left out. No worries. Yeah. It's a good idea for sure. So that would be a 4. That would be a 2. That would be a 7. That would be a 1. Now, apparently, the rest of everything is forced. We'll see if that's true. So there's a 5 over here because there's no 4 over here now. Which means that this is a 2 and this is a 5. This 2 fixes these. This 3 fixes that. That's no longer a 1, so that is going to be a 5. Oh, I think I know why this is a 5 always. I think I know why this is a 5 always. This is not unique? No, but who cares, really? Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Let's just try it. Let's just do the thing that... Yeah, let's just do the thing that chat wants. Let's make it unique by doing this. This was my first thought, just because it looks nicer to me for some reason. But let's try to do this, and if it solves nicely, then it's unique and it solves nicely, so, you know, good. good stuff, you know? But either way, it doesn't really matter. The solver doesn't seem to say that's unique either. It does in my F puzzles that I can tab back to that. Yeah, we can still add a big XSUM clue as a final clue, or we can go back and revise. I'm not completely sold on this very long line of 9. I kind of like what this does, but I'm not like sold on it, you know? I also don't like the lack of like 2 cell outside the grid. It feels kind of like cop out. So we might almost restart. I might restart. I might even finish the puzzle on stream and then restart. So we'll see about that. So that's a 7. This is going to be a 1. I don't know why that took so long. That's a 4. That's a 1. That's going to be a 6. That's going to be a 2. Oh, I can see why this would be forced that way. So the reason why I was pretty sure that the 5 was always up here was that I could see that whether this was a 2, if this was a 2, then this would be a 3, and that would be a 1, and that would be a 5. Or this would be a 1, and that would be a 5, which would replace the 5 anyway. If you want to restart, I would just make 2 puzzles with these real set. Yeah, that's true. I'm not going to delete this puzzle for any reason, but I don't know. I'll see how I like the solve path at the end, and then like I kind of want to like rework it because you know, it's fun to rework things. Oh, there's a 5 up here, and the 7 over here gives us the 6 here. This is unique in a really weird way that I kind of like, but we'll see. We'll see. So there's no 6 up here. Where are we? We are looking at this one, which forces a 1 here. This is an 8 and a 6. This 6 tells us the order. That's a 6 and that's an 8. That's an 8, that's a 9, that's a 9, that's a 4. The 7 could have also told us that this is a 7 and this is a 4, but I ignored it. This being a 6 means that's a 6, that's a 5, that's a 5, that's an 8. And this is a 2, 5, and that solved pretty nicely, actually. Yeah. Yeah, I think it solved pretty nicely. I didn't, like, notice anything that I hated, so that's good. I don't know what the title will be. Let's go open a solving tab, and then we'll try it out. Okay. We already know all the logic. So it almost feels like we don't have much to do. In a way, I know that I only need the Sudoku because I don't need coloring or anything. So let's just go through this slowly so we don't make any mistakes, because I did make mistakes before when I was in my fever dream. So let's try not to make mistakes this time. So we have 3 cells here. Now, if we used a 3 here, then we would have 6 cells. That's 21, and 21 can't add to a single digit. Yeah, it does look pretty cute. It's only 5 lines. And I think that was the title of the video for the U-boats feature, is only 5 lines. Actually, it was only 4 lines, and then someone was like, I don't know about you guys, but I see 5 lines. But yeah, it was definitely more than 5 lines. Is YouTube cutting, or is the bottom line here cut off on the stream? I think it is a little bit. Yeah, it is totally cut off. I will just make that a little bit. Oh. We'll just have to make this smaller. Is that better? Oh, absolutely not as good as Jormungerder? God. Yeah, we still need it. I think there's a lot of Sudokus with 0 lines, but they just have other things, not lines. Okay, good. So what we need to do is we need to go through the logic again slowly. So I think the first place to start is box 1, of course. How you start every puzzle. If this was a 3, then this would be 21, and that is not going to work with this single digit number. So this has to be a 2, because it can't be a 1 or a 4, because that would include itself in the sum. So then if it can't have a 2 on its line, it can't be 6 or 7, so it has to be 8 or 9. And it must have a 1, and it must have a 3, because if it had 1, 4, 5, that would be too much. So this is 1, 3, 4, 5, and this is going to be 8 or 9. Now, this is going to be 6 or 7, and now we can look here. It sees a 1 and a 3, so there's no way these could be 1s or have a 3 out front of here. So either if it doesn't have a 2, it's 4 or 5, and then these two explode to a billion. So it's probably, it almost definitely has a 2, and it's probably not 2-6 because 2-6 would be ridiculous. So 2-5 at this point, I think, seems reasonable. So let's see how difficult it is to disprove 2-5. So if we think about 2-5, 2-5 would mean that this is an 8. That's probably the first thing people are going to think when they think about 2-5. And then they're probably going to say, so it could probably work. And then move on. I think maybe people won't look at this first, actually. I think they might look at this next. I know 2-5 is 18, but I just I'm trying to think about what the solver will think about. And I don't think the solver will think that immediately. 118 is the thing you see? Okay. So I mean, I'll prove it really quick that if this is 2-5, there's obviously 5 cells in this box. It's going to be 15 at minimum, plus these 2 cells, which are 3 at minimum. So that's going to be 18, which needs 2 9s here. So that's not going to work. So it is 2-4. But I also feel like people will see 2-4 and be like, that could work in a million ways. And then look at the long line. Used what thought? 21? Like this sort of idea? Yeah, this can only be 8 or 9 for sure. Because if you try to do 1, 2, 4 or something, well, that's definitely not gonna work. Well, the first thing you have to realize is that this is a 3, because if it's a 4, then it's a single digit total, which adds to 4 different cells. That's definitely not gonna work. So is only 2 different from 5? That's true. That's true. Oh yeah, the 2-4 definitely resolves box 1. That's true. So then this is 9, this is 9. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to make these green. Right. So 2-4 resolves box 9, or box 1, sorry. 2, this digit is at least 15. When are you saying 1, 5, and when are you saying 15? It's just 2 cells plus 5 cells. Like the 2-5? Yeah, okay. I get that I understand that the 2-5 is not hard. I'm just saying I think people will look at this long line. I think the next thing people will see after spotting that this is a 2 is that this has to be a 3. I think that's the next thing people will spot. And then they will want to look at this line. They might, I want them to give up, like right away. I want them to give up on the line and look at something else. But I just want to see if they will, because I don't know if they will. So this has to be 8 or 9, because if you include a 3 in a 7 total, it's not going to work. And if you do a 6, then it's going to be 1, 2, and this has to be 1, 2, 3. Doesn't work. So then I need to make these green. I just switched off of green. This is 8 or 9. So then in here, this is going to have to be 1 or 2, because if you did double 4, then you'd have, I think we said 8 plus, well, you'd have 15 plus 4 is 19, which is too much. So then this is either 4 or 5, and this is, no. We don't know that yet, do they? No, we don't know that yet. I think there's too many things right here, right? Oh, definitely not a single and only path. I'm just thinking about what people look at next and if there is progress to be made. That's what I want to know, because I don't know if there is progress to be made, because we've added things. I don't think there is, but like if I try to list out all the possibilities here, like 1 could go with 5 and 3 or 4 and 3. 2 could go with 4 and 3 or 1. No, yeah, this is only 4 or 5. That's not a 3. This is either 1, 2, 6, 2, 1, 6, or if it's 8, it's going to be 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 5 here, 1. So do you think it's not? Yeah, I don't think any puzzle is a single path and only path puzzle, to be honest. I don't think anyone's going to look at this because it's just sum to 8 or 9 in 2 cells. I think people might look at this after they get the 2, 4, but I think knowing that they have the 2, 5 not being a possibility, I think you're right. They will think 2, 4 minimum is just 2 minus the 5 minimum, which is going to be 17. So or sorry, 16. The minimum for 2, 5 was 18. So the minimum for 2, 4 is going to be 16, but you can't do 16 because this is a 7, 9 here. And if you did 16, this would be a 7 or 9. And there's no way to do that. So this has to be 18 with 8, 9, and that's resolved, which places 8 here. And also puts a 6, 7 pair at the bottom. So then you can look at, I feel like we could look at this cell. People might look at this cell earlier because there can't be a 2 here. That might be something people will look at. But they would get, if they didn't get to this point, then they would get to a point where this is 5, 6, or 7, and that's still pretty open. But now this is 5 only, which means this has to be 2, 3, and this has to be 1, 4. And I'm not like skipping over any logic. That's just the only way to fill it. So then down here, well, we know that this is a naked single 3. We know that the 5 is now forced into this sum. And if we thought about this sum very carefully, we'd know that there's a 2 in here now. So there has to be 2 up here. And there's a 2 in one of these 2 cells. Just pencil marking Sudoku-wise. In here, where does the 6 go? It doesn't go in this sum anymore because that would make it too big. So that's a 6. So then over here we have a 4, 8, 9 triple, which means that the 4 in this box is placed right here. This is going to be a 1, 2 pair, which means that this is going to be a 1, 5 pair, which makes this a 3, 6, 7. A 3, 6, 7, please. The 3 can't go up there because it needs to be in the sum with the 4. And then row 5, column 9 is fixed. Yes, that's the next thing I was coming to, and I was wondering if people would look at this before now and if they would get anything. Because this is kind of interesting because you know it's one cell. Once you get the 2 here, you might look at this. I think you would look at this once you get the 2 here, because it clearly can't be a 1. It can't be a 4, so it must be... You would know that this is a 2 or 3. I think if people went through and pencil marked each one of these, like what could they be, I think they would identify this that this would be a 2 or 3 pretty quickly. So then that fixes all of this. That doesn't fix this yet, but it does because... if this can't be 6 or 7 now because it has a 3 in its sum and it can't have a 2. So it's either 8 or 9. But if it was 9, then this would either be 2, 4 because it has to add to 6, but it can't be 2, 4. Or it would be 1, 5, but there's a 1, 5 in its row. So it can't be 9, it must be 8. And therefore it must have a 1, 4 because that's the only way to sum 2 to 5 left. So that's a 5 and that's a 1. And this is a 1, 3, 4 triple. This is a 6, 7, 8, 9. There's a 5, 6, 7 down here. This 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2 should be alarm bells. This is going to be pretty forced. I think this can't be a 4, of course. 3 and 6 still seems possible here. Is this ever a 7? If this is a 1, then this would be an 8. Yeah, that would work. But now we can look at something else. I just realized I made this the wrong color. And I didn't fill in these, which we have now. This is 10. Oh, I guess I need the number mode for that. And that's the only thing I'm going to use the number mode for. So this has to be 2 cells that add up to 5. Or do we get this now? Now I'm forgetting the solve path, which is good, but also confusing. Right. So if this was 8, this would have to be 1, 4. Yeah, of course. The 3 is placed in box 9 right here, which places the 5 here. These 3s and these 3s. Place the 3 here. It gives us a 5. And this also, so if these were both 8s, then this would be 1, 4, looking at a 1, 4. So then this is not 8, this is a 9. Which means that's a 9, and this can't be 1, 7 anymore, so this is never 7, so this is either 1, 8 or 3, 6. I don't think we know yet. But this could be either 1 or 2. Right, but the other thing that we need to note is that the 8 in this box is now fixed because it can't go in any of these cells and it can't go there. So it has to go right there, which means that over here we're going to have either the... Oh, wait, we can't have a 5 in here anymore because this is going to be the 1, 2, 6 triple. So then this is going to be the 4, 5 that's not over here, which is going to be the 5 because it's down there. So that's a 5, that's a 1, that's a 6, that's a 2. Yes, no 5. That's not a 3, that's not a 1. So that is a 3. Wait, what did I just do? No, I didn't do that correctly. That can't be a 5, and that can't be a 1, but this is not resolved yet. I almost said anymore. There's an 8, 9 looking at this 4, 8, 9, so that's a 4. Wait, what? What's wrong? Is something wrong? Okay, nothing's wrong. Now this 4, 7, 9 has a 7, or sorry, a 4 and a 9 looking at it, so it's a 7. So in this row we need 2, 3, and 5. For some reason I was thinking 1. I don't know why. But that's the only place for a 2, so that is a 2. That's obviously not a 3. So now how did we resolve the rest of this? We had this not being a 6 for some reason. It must be from this 6. So this 6 tells us is it not from the 6? Oh, it's from here. So this is 6, 7, 8, 9. This is not 8 or 7 or 9, so that is a 6, and that's what tells us everything. So that's a 6, that's a 7. Now this is not 7 or 6, so that's an 8, 9 pair, which is resolved. This is the 9 in this row. This is a 7. No 7 in here, no 6 in here, so that's an 8. That's a 1, that's a 4, that's a 3. That places 3 and 5. That resolves all this. I think I'm happy with this puzzle. At least at this point. I think I'm relatively happy with this. Because everything has been pretty smooth. I did sort of forget about some things, but they resolved in a way that I like. This 1 resolves the 1 and the 4. Yeah, it's all very cute, I think. There's a 5 placed here. This is going to be a 2 and a 6. It's resolved. That's a 2, that's a 6. So this digit is a 1, so that's a 1, and that's a 2. 2 right here. That's a 4, that's a 1, that's a 4, that's going to be a 7. Thank you for sticking with it, Totally Normal Cat. You definitely, this line is very cool, and that's all you. I didn't even I wasn't even close. I was sort of close to that with sort of this idea, but I was missing it a little bit. Didn't we play with this a little bit? This line. The setting process for this was very fun. I enjoyed setting this. I enjoyed the input, and this this extension was a very neat way to finish the puzzle as well. Thank you for that, ZetaMath. And this extension from Andrew Saka suggested this at first, and then we removed it, and then Tallcat, or sorry, not Tallcat. Oh my god, every time. Totally Normal Cat suggested we bring it back, and it was instrumental in finishing the puzzle and getting it to so close to unique. Where are we? We need 5, 6, and 8 in here. No 5 there or 8, so that's a 6. So this digit is gimme. That's a 4, so that's a 4, and that's a 9. That's a 9, that's an 8. No 6 over here. 8 and 1. I should clickbait title this like, can I set Sudoku in my sleep? And the answer is no. So that resolves everything. And KNT is probably molding because there's no giant X-sum clue. Okay, yeah, that resolves everything. I think I'm surprisingly happy with this. I thought that I was gonna resolve it and it was gonna feel a little bit iffy, but I'm actually quite happy. And I think that might be where I end it here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end the stream. But thank you all for coming out, and feel free to give this a check mark in testing. Very fair to do that. Of course, I'm joking. Don't do that, please, because you sort of watched at it. Yeah. GG's. Thanks for coming out, and thanks for all the help, and good night. Take care.